From the John C. Hinch Production Arts Studios in Peoria, Illinois, VideoMax Limited presents Midstate Magazine with your hosts, Montel Hardy and Marcella Gillen. News with Jake Schultz, Gabrielle Balzell, and Ashley Edlin, and your Midstate reporting team. Sports with Kevin McClellan, On the Beat with Christine Kinnear and Christy Sergai. Money Matters with Jewel Jones. Get Real with Elise Andrew. Let's Eat with Stephanie Robbins. About Town with Kristen Pedicini. Street Team with Samantha Lebos. And State of the Arts with Elizabeth Scoville. And now, from America's friendliest city, Midstate Magazine starts right now.
Welcome to another episode of Midstate Magazine. I'm your host, Montel Hardy.
And I'm your other host, Marcella Gillen. Well, not only is our, city friendly, but the weather's being extra friendly to us too, huh?
Yeah, I have to say that too. It was funny because in my first class, I was, I think, randomly cold, so I had on long sleeves, a hoodie, and my big coat, and only to walk outside and have it be 50 degrees out. So
you're like the only guy on the street with the big coat on, and everybody kind of looks at you. But it's hard to tell. You have to watch the weather every morning in order to see, because the weather in the Midwest kind of is always changing. Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna have to do. I might have to, wake up a couple seconds early and look outside first. Instead, I wake up like 20 minutes before class.
Absolutely. Well, our anchors have some interesting news to tell us. Let's see what they have to report.
Good evening, I'm Jake Schultz from Midstate Magazine.
And I'm Gabrielle Balzell. And let's take a first look at the news.
Italian Premier Silvio Berlusconi was ordered by a judge to stand trial on prostitution and abuse of power claims. The March 6 trial stems from reports that Berlusconi paid for sex with a 17-year-old Moroccan girl. This is not the first time Berlusconi has stood before a judge, but this will be the first time he will be tried for personal reasons. His past court appearances were due to business-related charges. While paying for a prostitute is not illegal in Italy, it is if the girl in question is under 18. The maximum charge is 6 months to 3 years in prison. The abuse of power charge, if convicted, holds a charge of 4 to 12 years.
A Peoria man pled guilty to shooting an Iowa man in South Peoria Alley in 2006. Lionel DeGoose pled guilty last Monday to second-degree murder. This was a part of a plea deal which reduced the crime from first-degree murder. DeGoose was indicted back in 2008 after shooting Wesley Duro. Duro later died in a Peoria hospital. DeGoose was released from the California Department of Corrections and sent to Peoria for trial in early 2010.
High school students across central Illinois recently got a history lesson and a chance to compete for a college scholarship. While Springfield celebrated its 202nd anniversary of Lincoln's birthday, students were busy working for the voice of democracy. The Veterans of Foreign Wars League offers a $30,000 scholarship to high school students across the country. Each applicant writes an essay based on the year's topic, and one student from each state will be picked to go to Washington, D.C.
Actually, we have a series of winners. Everyone that goes to Washington gets a scholarship of some sort.
The winners of the essay contest will be announced in March. This year's topic was about pride in our military.
President Obama is calling for a $53 billion spending plan for high-speed rail trains across the country. The high-speed rails would travel at 250 miles per hour and would connect to already existing rail lines. The spending plan is part of Obama's strategy to create jobs and increase competitiveness in American innovation. It is also part of the plan to invest in highways, bridges, rails, and airports that Obama laid out last summer. If the bill passes, Obama says he wants to give 80% of Americans access to the high-speed rail within the next 25 years.
A new sales tax means that bars and restaurants in Galesburg are paying more for a liquor license than owners in Peoria. Galesburg bars already pay $1,500 more for a liquor license than owners in Peoria do. The new food and beverage tax levied by the city will add an additional 2% to the fee. The Galesburg Lodging and Restaurant Association is currently working to get the City Council to cut the new tax in half.
Surveys have found that more and more incoming college freshmen are abstaining from alcohol. The surveys were conducted outside the classroom by an alcohol education organization. They polled students at various schools across the country and found that 62% of incoming freshmen were not drinking alcohol. That number is up from the 38% who abstained in 2006. The CEO of the company credits the tough economy for this change, with more students realizing that doing well in school will benefit their future.
You may have eaten Einstein's bagels in other cities, but never in Peoria until now. Courtney Shattuck takes us to the newest eatery in Peoria.
Once you've entered Einstein's Brothers Bagels, you know you're in for a treat.
It has a very good variety of bagels, very good quality food, very nice environment, atmosphere. It also offers a territory, so I thought this was just a perfect fit from what I'm looking for and a perfect fit for Peoria.
Einstein's Bagels also has many other delicious food items for you to indulge in.
We have a really good variety of food for both breakfast and lunch and salad, and also for catering. We have a variety of sandwiches, from a Reuben sandwich to a club to panini sandwiches. We also do a lot of different sandwiches on our bagels. But also we're famous for our coffee. Our coffee is wonderful. Our house bun is delicious.
Opening up a store in Peoria has turned out to be quite a big hit.
The Peoria people have welcomed us greatly. I cannot be happier with the response that I received from the Peoria people. They're very excited, and I'm very happy to be here.
Happy bagel eating! For Midstate Magazine, I'm Courtney Shattuck.
South Korean filmmaker Park Chan-wook has made a 30-minute horror film by just using the iPhone 4G. The budget was $130,000. The film, entitled Life Full of Ups and Downs, or Paranaman Jang, has many camera angles and edits. The lightweight camera phone was easy to use, and many of the crew also had and used iPhones to shoot. Using camera phones are becoming a trend for filmmakers in the short film industry. The Commuter was made by the Nokia N8.
The website CareerCast.com evaluated 200 professions and determined the best and worst jobs of 2011. These jobs were based off 5 core criteria: pay, outlook, work environment, stress, and physical demands. Rustabout ranks as the worst job for the second year in a row, followed by roofers and painters. The best jobs of 2011 are software engineers, mathematicians, biologists, meteorologists, dental hygienists, and statisticians. The website has been ranking for 15 years and seeks to provide the best options overall for employees.
Thomas and Megan Wood, who own Green Bee Redemption in Maine, face charges of allegedly passing off more than 100,000 out-of-state containers. They are accused of accepting containers purchased in other states. Peter Prybot, a lobster man from Gloucester, Massachusetts, was charged with redeeming more than 1,000 non-eligible empty containers in Maine. It is estimated that 90 million fraudulent cans pass through redemption centers in Maine every year, costing beverage distributors up to $10 million. Now here's Kevin McClellan with sports.
Bradley senior basketball player Dodie Dunson has more going on in his life than what happens on the court. He's a senior social work major who loves working with kids, and his efforts both in basketball and the community have made him a finalist for the Lowe's Senior Class Award, an award that honors the top senior in the country in the areas of competition, the community, the classroom, and the award also honors their character. Dunson is one of 10 men's basketball players selected as finalists. He was nominated for this award last year, but he broke his hand early in the season and was forced to redshirt. Despite that setback, he was named a finalist again this season. Anyone can vote, and you can vote every day, so do it. Online voting closes March 20th. The website is www.seniorclassaward.com/athlete/Dodie_Dunson1. With spring almost here, it's time to get outside and explore a little bit. One of the best ways to do that is to check out the Illinois River Trail, the River Trail of Illinois, right across the bridge in East Peoria. This 4.8-mile trail runs from East Peoria to Morton and is a great way to get some exercise and spend some time outdoors. The trail is asphalt, so you can bike, walk, run, jog, pretty much anything. No motorized vehicles are allowed on the trail, though. There are also educational opportunities along the trail. You can learn about the forest habitats and tall grass prairies that surround the greater Peoria area, which makes for a great family activity. So get outside, get moving, and get learning. That's it for sports. Back to you, Gabrielle.
Cornell University's Computational Synthesis Laboratory is working on a 3D food printer. The gadget functions like a printer that processes fresh ingredients which become three-dimensional foods. This allows you to make custom molded sweets and breads.
Well, that's all for the news. I'm Jake Schultz.
And I'm Gabrielle Balzell.
And I'm Kevin McClelland. Have a good evening and join us again next week.
The 3D food printer? Now that's something new I hadn't.
Yeah. I think it was, really good. The bagel place too was really interesting to me.
Yeah, but they have 3D television that they were working on. So now we've got to the 3D television, to 3D printer, and I have no idea what's next. So it kind of scares me.
Yeah, technology's really taking over, right?
And I wonder what my grandma would think of that, because she's all old-fashioned and old school and makes everything by hand, every meal, and then for her to have to deal with a 3D food printer, and that just is probably over her head.
It's already over my head, and I'm just, so I think one of the good things about it, though, is that it's more convenient, instead of going all the way, because I'm from Chicago, so going all the way downtown to see a 3D movie, you could just see it in your living room.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the Oscars are coming up next week, so Elise Ander reviews some of the Best Picture nominees. Take it, Elise.
It's Oscar season, and for this week's Get Real, we're hitting the red carpet, taking a look at this year's top 5 for Best Motion Picture. There's a great mixture of suspense, drama, comedy, even Woody and Buzz Lightyear make an appearance. So let's take a look.
I need to do something substantial in order to get the attention of the clubs.
Why?
Because they're exclusive and fun, and they lead to a better life.
In a school full of geniuses, how do you distinguish yourself? Follow Mark Zuckerberg, played by Jesse Eisenberg, on his journey establishing one of the most influential websites of all time.
They're saying we stole the Facebook.
I know what it says.
So did we?
Can't wait to stand over your shoulder and watch you write as a check.
If you guys were the inventors of Facebook, you'd have invented Facebook. As for the charges, I believe I deserve some recognition from this board.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
I don't understand.
Which part?
Hey, Bug. Don't be back late.
I know.
Come give us a hug before you go. Hugs.
Hug her. That's what she's there for.
This witty comedy takes a new look at a modern-day family. Annette Bening and Julianne Moore have raised 2 happy, healthy children, but when they turn 18, they set out to find their biological father and find him.
Right on.
You met him, and that's cool. And now we can move on.
I want to see him again.
You do?
You do?
Why'd you donate sperm?
It seemed like a lot more fun than donating blood. Hey, I'm glad I did it. To an unconventional family.
Our new Swan Queen, the exquisite Nina Sayers.
I'm Lily. You're gonna be...
Ballerina Nina Sayers wins the prestigious part of the White Swan in Swan Lake. But when another ballerina threatens her new role, she slowly begins to lose her mind.
You. Nobody's after you.
What happened to my sweet girl? She's gone!
You're alive! What? I'm alive! Oh, my hat! Wait, where's Buzz? Oh.
The third and final installment of Pixar's Toy Story is the ending of an era. Woody and his gang must find their way home and put Buzz Lightyear back to normal before their beloved owner, Andy, leaves for college.
Get you home before Andy leaves tomorrow!
Tomorrow? But that means...
It means we're busting out of here. Tonight.
Do you know any jokes?
Timing isn't my strong suit.
I can cure your husband, but I need total trust.
Colin Firth dives into the role of King George VI, a royal with an unfortunate and noticeable stammer. With the help of his wife and a speech therapist turned friend, he will find his voice in time to address a nation at war.
Listen to me! Listen to me! Why should I waste my time listening to you? Because I have a voice! Yes, you do. Your first wartime speech.
Broadcast to the nation and the world.
Just forget everything else and just say it to me.
All great films for a great award show. Don't forget to watch and see who wins that gold statue this Sunday. For Get Real, I'm Elise Sandert.
A lot of good movies in that package, huh?
Absolutely. I think Toy Story 3 is just going to get my vote right off the bat.
That's the only one that I've seen out of all of those, but I watched it in theaters and I had a great time. I was laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
Disney really had a way with it.
They did a good job. I think between that and especially the Facebook movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think it depends on who votes, I guess, but I think if any of the younger people, choose to vote.
Yeah, it'll appeal more to our younger generation, really, but
Without a doubt.
I really wanted to see the Black Swan and the King's Speech, but
I have yet to see those two myself.
they looked really intriguing, so I'll have to see those. Maybe we'll go sometime.
Yeah, sure. So, anything else interest you about the movies? I mean, the last one I haven't quite heard of, but I'm sure they're all pretty good.
Well, I was in theaters, and when Buzz was speaking into his Spanish mode, I was pretty much the only one who understood. But I know everyone had a good time.
Gotcha.
Well, now Jewel Jones lets us know what is new with the economy.
Hi, I'm Jewel Jones. In early January, Springfield was the center of attention as lawmakers came to town to pass new laws before new lawmakers are sworn in. What they were trying to do during this lame duck session was to pass an income and corporate tax hike. The measure passed both in the House and Senate and was sent for Governor Pat Quinn's signature. He signed it, and the tax went up to 66% from 3% for all wage earners in Illinois to 5% for all wage earners as well. After 4 years, the rate drops to a flat 3.75%. Perhaps the greatest attention has been given to the corporate tax hike, which went up from a flat 4.8% to a flat 7% until 2015. At a surcharge tax of 2.5%, and corporations will pay a flat 9.5% corporate tax. This corporate tax hike has caught the ire of Jimmy John Leotard, founder of the namesake sandwich chain Jimmy John's. Illinois tax hikes have been enough for Jimmy John to move himself and his family to South Florida, where one does not pay state income taxes. His anger over the income tax hike has made neighboring states such as Wisconsin salivate. And with these tax hikes, the rivalry between the two states is more than just football. As of today, there are still 31 Fortune 500 companies located in the state, and just after the increased taxes were signed to law in new session of the House and Senate, an aluminum fabrication will open in Roscoe, Illinois. The company behind it is based in Beloit, Wisconsin. So while an out-of-state team took home the Hallish Trophy in Illinois soil, Illinois got paybacks in the form of 130 new jobs. With Money Matters, I'm Jewel Jones.
I thought it was pretty funny that the Jimmy John's founder actually moved to Florida to avoid the hike in the taxes. So he's kind of angry at the whole, I don't know, Pat Quinn signing the bill,
Yeah.
kind of fleeing from the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you can afford to do something like that, then it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, stay here where you can make us sandwiches.
Yeah, right? I mean, I'm a huge Jimmy John's fan myself. So.
Yeah, and Obama seems to be really trying to help out the economy. I mean, a lot of critique has been given to the stimulus package, like what we just covered with the high-speed railroad system.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get the economy back and going and, you know, take us out of this, well, we're not supposed to be in the recession anymore. But
Absolutely. You know, we're getting closer and closer every day. Peoria isn't far from this big touristy spot. Our very own Ashley Edlin reports what's going on in Springfield, Illinois.
Abraham Lincoln became the 16th President of the United States in 1861. During his time in office, Lincoln put a stop to slavery, pitting the Confederate South against the Union North for what would become the Civil War. Today, in his final resting place of Springfield, Illinois, the town known as the Land of Lincoln celebrates the 202nd anniversary of his birthday and has come together to pay tribute to the man who made the American dream possible for everyone. A few were able to spend the historic day outside of the classroom.
About his life, tell everybody about how Lincoln lived.
It's pretty cool.
The stuff that they don't tell you at school.
I think it gives you a lot of insight into Lincoln and who he was, that he was human and real and what he had to deal with. You know, a tough time growing up in primitive conditions.
Wax figures and artifacts take you through Lincoln's life step by step, from his childhood to his time in the White House. But historians aim to shed light on his personal life behind closed doors, especially about wife Mary Todd and his 4 sons.
But you think, you know, she lost 2 of her children and she sat next to her husband as he was assassinated, and then about 9 years later, she lost her son Tad. And then due to the current thought is that she was bipolar.
Springfield was the Lincolns' home away from home. Today, their home has been open to the public for tours, school groups, and war veterans since the mid-19th century. His presidential history is also a big part of some local businesses. In the heart of Springfield, Abraham Lincoln prepared his inaugural speech in the building behind me. But just 4 years into his term, Lincoln's life was cut short by a single gunshot wound to the head. His assassination at the Ford Theater on April 14, 1865 would arguably become one of the most studied incidents in history. The tomb I'm standing in front of holds the graves of Abraham Lincoln, his wife Mary, and 3 of his 4 children. It marks the symbol of his shocking assassination at the Ford Theater. Visitors to the sites throughout Springfield say they teach a little more than your average history book.
I got kicked in the head by a horse. I hadn't known that before I came here to the museum the first time, and you know, those are all things that kids can go, whoa, you know, and just he was a real person, and just not to never give up, you know, to keep striving to overcome difficulties in your life.
For Midstate Magazine, I'm Ashley Edlin.
Such a neat asset that Springfield has in honor of our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. Now, did you ever visit as a child, in elementary school, ever go to the Springfield Abraham Lincoln Museum?
Actually, I did. It happened 8th grade. Everyone, half my friends, they actually went to, Disney World or somewhere like that, but we went to Springfield.
Yeah, that's the place to be.
Yeah, for sure. So we learned, we got a tour of a lot of the museums, and actually the museum is across the street from the library.
And how are those wax figures? Because I know they make them so realistic today. You bump into one, you're inclined to apologize because you think it's a person.
Yeah, I actually touched one on accident and it made a beeping noise and almost got kicked out. So.
You did?
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember.
Thanks for sharing. Well, Italian is always a favorite meal. Stephanie Robbins lets us know about an affordable yet accessible Italian restaurant located right next to our studio.
Avanti's has been a staple in Peoria dining for over 45 years. Pekin store owner Stefan Zeller tells us a little bit about the family history.
Well, it started by my father back in 1966. He had come to this country from Switzerland as a cheesemaker and worked in Walnut, Illinois for another guy who was also Swiss who owned a cheese factory there called Avanti Foods.
However, Avanti's has grown into a successful Italian chain.
We're really known for our bread. It's the sweet bread that really everyone knows us as.
But the bread isn't the only thing Avanti's is known for.
My favorite has always been the gondola and the spaghetti. That's always been my favorites. I would say the gondola probably #1 and the spaghetti #2.
We took Stefan's advice and ordered the classic gondola and some spaghetti. The gondola was topped with lettuce, cheese, and salami, and tasted delicious. The spaghetti was abundant, and with the meat sauce spiced to perfection, it made for a hearty meal.
So if you're looking for a laid-back and reasonably priced Italian restaurant, bon appetit at Avanti's. For Midstate Magazine, I'm Stephanie Robbins. Avanti's really is perfect because it's affordable and it's great Italian food.
It is. I'm a big fan of, fried ravioli too, so
yes.
You can always get that there.
And they're actually really known for their sweet bread, and you always go in there, order, and they continually bring it out, and you almost fill up on the bread before you even get to your meal. But hey, who's complaining? Because it's pretty good.
I've tried it a couple times, and they actually don't mind giving it to you for free too. So
yeah, and they're relatively quick service. I recommend really going to Avanti's.
Yeah, I think I would suggest to anyone I know, especially if you're looking for a late dinner.
A late dinner, yeah, it's very appealing.
So, any other places that you enjoy eating at?
In Peoria, I mean, I really don't get around too much, but Avanti's is relatively close, so usually I end up going there.
For sure, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? Elizabeth has a very talented hip-hop artist this week. Let's see what's going on at State of the Arts.
Hello, welcome to State of the Arts. I'm your host, Elizabeth Scoville. Today we have an aspiring rapper from Chicago, Illinois by the name of Blaze B. Blaze has opened for many well-known rappers such as Lupe Fiasco and Common. Welcome, Blaze. Thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. So can you tell me a little bit of when you started rapping, what that was like?
I started when I was about 16 in high school. Some of my friends rapped, and one day they were freestyling, which is basically rapping without rehearsing. And they were so good at it, and I couldn't do it at all. I felt left out, and I started to rap.
Well,
that was the day.
That's interesting. So now you're here, and what has it been like opening for people like Lupe Fiasco and Common?
Actually, not as huge of a deal as you might think, because when I opened for Lupe, he wasn't nationally known. He was just another Chicago rapper who was doing well, and I remember watching him and thinking like, man, this guy's good. And but that's all I thought about it. Then years later, I see him, famous. As far as Common, well, he performed here, I think it was 2004. And I didn't open for Common. That was an accident. He asked for a rapper in the audience to freestyle with him, and so I got up on stage and did that.
That's really cool. That must have been a great experience. So what kind of projects do you have going on now? When is it due to release as well?
The next project to release will be my self-produced album. It's sort of a blend of hip-hop and dubstep and electronic music. And the other one after that, well, that drops in April. The other one after that will be in the summer, and that's more of a soul-based project.
That's exciting. I wish you well with that. So go ahead and get ready to perform. Tonight, Blaze will be performing The Same for us. So whenever you're ready, take it away.
Thank you. Yeah. I wish I could do more. I'm too sore to move more, plus I'm too poor. I got a pocket full of wallet, and a wallet full of a complete lack of contents. But I'm still on it like I want it, and I want it like I know that I am the missing component. Or better yet, the keystone. He's on like TVs and homes. Except I don't raise your children. Put your money where your mouth is if you think I won't make a million. It's ambition. Quit your damn. This is wishes turned into plans after that fruition. AKA manifestation, the grand awakening, the weights plan to take it in. Life is a test, so prepare to hand your papers in. The generation that raised me is who the Black Panthers babies is. The industry, where hella phonies make it in. While this fella's as funky as Dale the Homo sapien. Overtaking them, breaking them, making them forsaken men. Leaving them making like clay and then saying who you playing with. Truly blazing, displaying that sound that's hard to mess with. The MC who be laying it down more than narcoleptics. I got a question, what is it going to a goblin? Rhyme and neither one want drama, they synonymous. Yeah, they all the same, man, with just little different names, man. Most of them got Lil and Young in front of them. They all the same, man, doing it for the bling and the chains. Yeah, I'm Blaze B, the illest crossover artist. The way I shake and brace the ankles of so-called ballers. Street smart, you can call me a Rhodes Scholar. You know the saga, no father, soul, smoke, mirror with the steadily getting hotter, like I was headed for the Bahamas, but instead I was headed for the drama. How I made it through all of it, I don't know, must have had incredible karma. Perhaps it was from a past life or something, cause I know in this life I've done mad, trife, and dumb. Overall, I'm a regular good fella. Never underestimate the things that I could tell ya, and never judge a book by its cover. The finest chick in your high school yearbook, I might have hugged her, and I am gutter. And I don't talk a lot, yet I'm a man of many words. I stay on my thoughts a lot, writing verses on the curb. I make the kitty purr, cause I am the cat's meow. Rising too fast for you to catch me now. Let's see how you accept me now, that I am respected and feared by the best around. King MC, half these rappers jesters now. Some of them real lyricists, but the rest is clowns. Yes, for now, the BLAIS second vowel, B periods checking out. They all the same, man. Yes, sir. They all the same, man. It's just that they all got different names, man. They all the same, man. Yeah. With different names.
Wow, Blaze. That was an amazing performance. I am so glad that you're going so far with it. I wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for that wonderful performance. For more on Blaze B, check him out on YouTube by searching Blaze B. For State of the Arts, I'm Elizabeth Scoville.
Yeah, we just might have to check him out to hear some more. You know, I don't listen to a lot of rap, but I thought he was pretty talented. He said he's producing, writing his own lyrics and rap. I mean,
For sure. I mean, I listen to a lot of rap music myself, and he pretty much killed that verse.
I saw you bumping back there.
Yeah, see, the name of it was the same, right? I might check that out when I get back. And then on top of it, he opened for Lupe and for Common. And I know.
See, now I'm not familiar with them, but I mean.
Lupe Fiasco. Well, he's got the Lasers album coming out in April, I think. So you'll if you don't know, you will know. I will know. Soon. For sure. It's a great album. And then Common, he was another Chicago rapper. There's really just a list of them.
So we wouldn't be surprised to see him, making it big someday, because they all have to start somewhere.
You can put that on a resume and say you open for them, and that will get you some attention.
Yeah, it's not what you know, it's who you know these days, huh?
Everywhere, in every field, for sure.
Sadly, it's true.
I feel the same way. Hopefully, it'll pay off and it'll take him a long way. I'm excited for his album coming out soon as well.
Yeah, so definitely let's check that out, and we would have to encourage him and all that. So I am Marcella Gillen with Midstate Magazine.
And I'm Montel Hardy. Have a good one.